तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 20. This is beginning from verse number 20. So this chapter, as we have been reading, is full of similes, upama, describing the rainy season and what we can learn from them. Just like in 11th canto, there is this song of Avadhut, and he describes what he has learned from different living beings, animals, birds, aquatics, even earth, sky, water, and this. So like that, Sukadeva Goswami is also giving teachings from the rainy season. So he says, Meghagamotsawa Hrishtaha Pratyanandan Shikhindinaha Grihesu Tapta Nirvinna Yatha Chuta Janagame. So Shikhindina means peacocks, because they have this shikhand on their head, that little crown. So, and they are called Meghagama Utsava, that their festival is when clouds come. So peacocks, at least in here, hot season or hot part of the country, they love when the clouds come. So when the clouds start thundering, then they make sound. That's like they're singing. So therefore that is their Utsava. So Meghagama Utsava Hrishta, and then they're very happy, and in happiness they resound or they reply to the sound of the clouds. So it's just like he says that if devotees come to somebody's house, then those people who are like not in a very happy mood become very happy at that time, and they consider it like a festival. So grihesu tapta nirvinna. Earlier they were suffering. Household life is a lot of troubles. Everybody who has been in household life can know this. So therefore grihesu tapta, it's like before the rains come, it's hot. So they're also having hot dialogues, right? At least some clash is going on in the family. And nirvinna, so nirvinna means like sort of depressed, and then they become happy when some devotee comes and talks Krishna Katha. So meghagamena utsavo yesham, so peacocks are called those who have festival when clouds come. Te pratyanandan. So megha samriddha garjitadi anantaram uchchair anandadikam akuruvan. So pratyanandan means they relished, they enjoyed. How did they enjoy? That when the thick clouds, they thunder loudly, so then they also make their sound, and in this way they express their happiness. And this is compared to Yatha Vaishnava Grihastaha Samagat Vaishnava Premananda Geetanantaram Ananda Geeta Nrityadikam Kuruvanti iti Vaishnava Namapadya. So just like if there are Vaishnavas who are householders, and in their house some other Vaishnavas visit them, and they come and do some kirtan, so then these Vaishnavas, they also jump, enjoy, sing, dance. So before that they may be having some tough time, but now in the company of visiting Vaishnavas, they relish their company. Pitva apaha padapaha padbhir asannanat murtayaha praka kshamas tapsa shanta yatha kamanusevaya. And then the trees, when the rain comes, then they drink water through their legs. So a tree is called padapa. Pada means feet or foot, and pa means to drink. So the tree drinks from his foot. It's where he draws the water from the earth. So head is up, standing on the foot. He drinks. All the rain is coming from the sky, but he doesn't drink that. He drinks once it goes to the ground, and then sucks through the feet, up through the foot. And the roots are like the fingers spreading around. So they drink this water. So padapa pitva apaha, after drinking water, then padabhi, and they drink water through their feet. And then what happens? So asan nana atam murtaya. So then they become green. Their fruits, flowers, leaves, branches, everything blooms. So they become many. In the summer they may be, all the leaves have fallen down, nothing is happening, dried out. Now they become green. So they bloom with the rainwater. So it says that it's just like some yogis who are doing tapasya, austerities, to attain some yogic siddhi. So earlier they are weak, emaciated. Then when they attain their goal, then they enjoy, they become happy because they got their siddhi, what they were looking for. So yatha kamanu sevaya, and then they enjoy their siddhis. So like that. So nana vidha atmanah swasya murtaya ankura patra pallava pushpa patradya yeshante. So Atma Murti, or expression of the self, here refers to the sprouts, because the seeds they sprout, their leaves, new leaves, flowers and fruits, they all come. So this is in case of the tree. And nana atmanaha pana bhojana ramanadina nana svabhavanta atmano murtayo deha yeshamte. So similarly yogis, they also relish, they can also expand their form. So nana atma murta means that they have their expansions, and through that they enjoy by eating. Like Sabri Muni, he expanded into 50 forms. So like that. So but these he says are the Sakam yogis. Means they are doing the tapasya, austerity or their yogic practice for some material perfection. So he says Niskamanam iyam heya. But those who are Niskam yogis, for them this is to be given up. So in the Yoga Sutra, there are 4 chapters of the Yoga Sutras, and the third one is called Vibhuti Yoga. So it describes various types of yogic perfections which one can attain by meditating on different things. But there Patanjali says that a yogi should not fix their mind or desire to attain them. So then why is he describing? He says this type of perfections can appear to yogi even those who are not desiring it. So if they come, then they should not become attached to that. They should avoid it and remain fixed on their goal of Chitta Vritti Nirodha, because that is the purpose of yoga. So therefore Vishwanath Chakravarti also says here that Nishkamanam iyam heya, that those who are Niskam yogis, for them this is not acceptable. They should give it up, not think of it. Sarasva Shantarodhashu Nyushorangapi Sarasaha Griheshu Shantakrityeshu Gramma Iva Durashaya. And now because of the rain, the ponds they become full of water and they may be overflowing and their banks are muddy. But still the Sarasa bird, the cranes, they don't leave the pond because that's their place to find food. They eat fish, etc. So where will they go? So although now the banks of the ponds which were dry before and clean, now they become marshy or watery, and there may be dirt and all the boundaries are broken, but still they live there. So Nyushu Anga Api, still, Api means still, they don't give up. So he says it's just like people living in the house, although there is a lot of disturbance in the house, they don't take sannyas, they don't think, let me give up this. So Griheshu Ashanta Krityesu, where a lot of disturbing acts are going on. So Gramma Iva Durashaya. So then ignorant people whose hearts are impure or they have material attachments, they continue to live there, and not only continue to live there, they will live very much absorbed in it. They don't think of going elsewhere or finding a better place, better opportunity. No, they remain absorbed in that only, just like the birds. The cranes do not leave the lake because they think, if I leave the lake, how will I survive? So similarly people say that if I give up this, then how will I live? Who will give me food? So they continue to suffer like that. Swashantani panka kantaka bhanguratwadi dosha yuktani rodhamsi. So ashant, which literally means disturbed, without peace. In case of lake, it refers to that who has got its bank full of marshy area, and there may be thorns, because with rainwater maybe some branches come flowing into the water, and if there are thorny branches, then they also come and pile up on the bank of the lake. So still they continue to live there. Tatani yesham tesu api nyushu nitram eva asan yam heva eva. So nyushu means it is ushu, vasu, usatu, ushu. So they live there, and ni means that they are very fixed. Not that they are living half-heartedly. Like people come to spiritual life, then they are thinking, maybe I made a mistake, I should go back, right? Not like that. They don't think that we are making a mistake. Should give no, then this idea never comes. So that's the meaning of nitram eva asan, means completely fixed. So there is no desire to leave it. So therefore he says that this simile is to telling us something which should be given up. Because there are some similes which are teaching what should be done. What is upadeya means acceptable, and heya means rejectable, which has to be given up. So as they are absorbed in the Vishaya, like that we should not be. That is the idea. So as Prahlad Maharaj says, ya priti ravivekanam vishayeshu anapayani. So their priti in Vishaya is anapayani. Anapayani means it never goes away. They never abandon it. It's completely fixed. So Prahlad says, my mind should remain fixed in you like that. He gives that example. Jalogher nirbhidyante setvo varshati ishvare pakhandinam asadvadeir vedamarga kalau yatha. So because of the great flow of water, the boundaries, the bridges are broken when the Ishvara reigns. So Ishvare varshati sati setavo nirbhadyante. So all the setus, like here in Yamuna near Vrindavan, they make this bridge every summertime from these drums. But when the heavy rains come, then it is broken down. So nirbhidyante. So he says in the same way, in the Kali Yuga, the Pakhandis or irreligious people, they come to spiritual life and they misinterpret the Vedas. So asadvadair vedamarga kalau yatha. So the Vedic principles, the Vedic teachings, they become polluted by such people who do not follow the Maryada. Because Setu also means the boundary. Siya bandhare dhatu, to bind. It's from that the word Setu comes. So Krishna is also called Dharma Setu. Siya Bandhane. So he is called Dharma Setu because he comes to establish the principles of dharma. Principle means limit. Niyama means they make a limit that you should follow this and you should not follow this. So that is the meaning of Setu. When there is a bridge over a river or a lake, so means you have to only walk through that bridge. If you go this side or that side, of course they make protection. But imagine there is a bridge and there is nothing on the side, like railing is not there. Then there is a chance of falling down if you go off the bridge. So the principles of dharma, yama, niyama are like that. They are like a setu, they are a bridge. If you follow them, then you reach your destination. If you want to cross a river or a lake, then you have to remain on the bridge. But if there is no railing on the bridge, then you may deviate and fall down. So therefore, Pakhandis here means heretics or who do not stick to the principle. That's what a Pakhandi means. So Papasya Khandani, yes, say the Pakhandi. So which is a piece of immoral principle. Means his activities create Papa. So that is Pakhanda. So he says this will happen in Kali Yuga. So that you can see. So this is a prediction made that in the present age people don't remain on the bridge. Right? People now say, I am a free person, why shall I follow him? Why should I listen to you? Who are you? Why should I follow this book, this guru, that guru? I am free. So there is a difference between being free and being frivolous. People misunderstand to be frivolous as free. So this is the confusion in Kali Yuga, not knowing what is freedom and what is frivolousness. So he says this happens when there is a big push. All the boundaries are broken. So Ishvare, Ishvarattabhiman Vashad Ati Varsha Upadravam Kurvita Sati. So why it happens? Because Indra sends more rain than what is needed. If the normal water is coming, then the bridge is not going to break. But when too much water comes, the river gets flooded, then the water starts overflowing the bridge and the bridge may collapse. It happens many times. So why it happens? Because the Indra, who is god of rain, he thinks I am the supreme god. He becomes very proud and he sends unnecessary rain. He should send only what is needed by people. Why sending more? So therefore this upadrava happens, then all this disturbance comes. So similarly when people become proud, not knowing their true capacity or true situation and their actual responsibility, because now people only want freedom without responsibility. But freedom comes with responsibility. If you are not a responsible person, then you don't deserve freedom. Why a child is not given freedom to go everywhere? Because child is not a responsible person. Doesn't have the intelligence to think what is right, what is wrong, what is good for me, what is not good for me. So if you give freedom to the child, क्या हो गया? अरे चलने दो उसका देखा जाएगा. So when this freedom is given to irresponsible people, then there is a upadrav, then there is a chaos in the society. That's what is happening now. that people are not educated in moral principles, in ethics, in responsibility, but they are told that freedom is our fundamental right, right? Every constitution, democratic states, they have their fundamental human rights. So one of them is freedom of speech. So you can talk any nonsense. He said, no, I have a freedom of speech. No, you have a freedom of speech, so you also have a responsibility what to speak. Otherwise, freedom should be taken away from you. Because freedom is not to create disturbance. If freedom creates disturbance, then that freedom has to be curtailed. That's why is a criminal put in the prison? Prison means you are curtailing the freedom of a person. That's all is what prison is. So why his freedom is curtailed? Because he broke the principles, which means he misused his freedom. You are free to steal and not steal. But if you steal somebody's property, then you are misusing your freedom, then your freedom is taken away. Then you are put in prison. So therefore the Dharma teaches us how to make use of our freedom so that we make proper choice. Freedom does not mean do anything. That's what I call as frivolousness. So that is the difference. So that's what it says, that this is the situation in the present age. So Sukadeva Goswami already predicted it, that this will happen. So he says, Veda Marga Kalau Yatha. So Asadvadai. So people will speak confused philosophies, Asat, which is not true. They'll make up something. And then many people who are unable to make distinction between right and wrong, good and bad, they start following it. So YOLO. Right? So YOLO is also religion. So many people are following it. But if you ask them question, they cannot answer. But they say, well, we are free. Who are you? I am free to follow anything I like. Yes, you follow, but there is a consequence. Because it's not true that you only live once. You can think like this, you are free to think, but once you die, then control is gone. Then your freedom is gone, then your karma will act, and you will be punished for that. Same, just like in the modern state, you break the law, you are punished. There is also law of the nature, that is the law of karma. So you don't follow, you do against the principles of nature, then you get punished. It's very simple. So your freedom is taken away. So vyamunchan vayubhirnunna bhutebhyoshamritam ghanaha yatha shisho vitpatayah kale kale dvijeritaha. So now these clouds, they released amrita. Amritam also is water. So they released water, which is like nectar, to the living beings, being hit by the air. So vayubhir nunna bhutebhya cha amritam ghanaha. So they released water. So it says, just like a good king who gives his blessings in the form of doing welfare to people repeatedly or time after time when they are in need, some difficult situation comes, then he helps them, being guided by his ministers. Dvija here means they are ministers, they advise the king that now in the kingdom this problem is coming, so you should do something. So then he takes care of that. So like that, clouds also help the living beings who are in need, because after summer everybody gets all the plants and trees and living beings, they get emaciated. So then clouds come and rain water on them.
Maharaj, this is Vayu Bhir Nunna, right? Not Vari Bhir Nunna.
Vayubhi, at least my reading. How it will be Vari? Vari is going to come. Yes. You have Vari? No, Vari is released. Amritam Ghana Vimunchan. From where the water is coming.
Vari means water, right?
Vari is water.
Should be Vari.
So Nunnaha Prerita. So Nunna means Prerita, means instigated by it. Ashishaha, Ashisha means blessings, but here means Kaman, means they supply the needs of people. So the kings, just like now we have state, so these are called welfare states. So they are supposed to work for the welfare of people. That's what democratic states are. So they extract taxes from people and then they are meant to utilize it to help the needy people. So that is what is Ashisha is here. So Vishpatayoho Rajano Vanijam Patiyova. So Vishpati means the king. It can also mean, because Vish also means Vaishya or business people. So it can also means the chief of the business people. So they have wealth because business people have money. So they also do welfare work, being inspired by others. So Dujair Viprair Irita Prerita iti Rajabhir Upadeya. So Dujair means Vipra, means Brahmanas or learned people. So on their advice, Prerita means being advised by them. So they help. So this simile is beneficial for the kings. Evam vanam tad varshishtham pakva kharjura jambumat gogopalai vritorantum sablaha pravishadharihi. So till now he described the season and the forest. Now he comes back to the storyline. So Krishna and Balram, so they entered the forest. So in this way the forest now was laden with fruits. Rainy season. So what are the type of fruits which grow here? One is Kharjura. Kharjura means dates. And Jambu. Jambu is a fruit which I don't think it grows in the West. We have one tree here in our garden. It's a small fruit, bluish in color when it is ripe. So generally it comes in the rainy season or sometimes even little before rain. And this Kharjur also, they become ripe in the beginning of this season. So they are now ready to be plucked and eaten. So that's what it says, Pakva Kharjura Jambumat. Pakva means ripe or mature, Kharjur and Jambu. So there were, forest was full of these. So then Krishna along with Balram, he entered the forest to relish his activities, being surrounded by cows and cowherd people. So Varsha Varniyatva Tadatvikim Leelam Varnayati Evamiti. After describing the rainy season, now Sri Sukdev Goswami describes Krishna's pastime of rain time. Earlier he already described the summer pastime right? And what they were doing in the summer. So going to the lakes, water, all this. So now he will describe the rainy pastime in the 7 verses, Saptabhi. Varsishtam Samriddham. The word Varsishtam means full of or opulent with, laden with. Dhenavo mandagaminya udho bharena bhuyasa Yayur-Bhāgavata huta dutam pritya snutastanihi. So first he describes the cows. So cows, they are walking slowly, mandagamini. Why? Because their udders are very heavy. Because of the heavy udder, they cannot run, so they walk slowly. These types of cows I only seen in the West, not in India. Right? So in the West they have cows with huge udders. And actually sometimes the milk is flowing out. But here in Bhagavatam it is described that in India also they had. Earlier also it was described that the milk was just flowing from their udders. So now in Kali Yuga we don't see that. But it's described that in India also they had. So Yayur-Bhāgavata huta drutam. So although they were walking slowly because of the heavy udders, but when Krishna called them, because all the cows they had their names, so if he called them, the cows will come running to him. So why he was running? Because of love, pritya, because love is such a thing. Otherwise he is walking slowly. But when she is called by Krishna, then she forgets everything, that I can have pain, or then she runs. So, and not only she is running, but the milk is flowing. Snutastani means milk flowing from the udder of the cows. So because they had the milk which comes in the udder of the cow is actually for the love of the calf. So when calf is released, then the milk naturally comes. Otherwise they hold it back. So they release it. So this milk is also love of the cow for the calf. And because the cows also love Krishna, so the milk is also coming out. So milk does not always come because the calf is there. Sometimes even when there is no calf, there can be milk. So a mother has milk in the breast when small baby is there. But sometimes milk can come even without woman having a child. It is possible. Because milk is not just a material product, but there is emotion of love involved in it. So in Bhagavatam itself it is described that when Krishna went to Mathura, at that time he was 11-year-old. And then he fought with these wrestlers and killed them. And then he met Vasudeva and Devaki. So Devaki's breast was flowing with milk at that time. So Krishna is 11-year-old and the mother's breast is giving milk. How is that possible? So this is out of love. So that's what is being described here. That this milk is not necessary that these cows had calves and they were actually in milk. They may not be milky cows. But still, pritya snutastani. The milk came out because of love. Pritya. That is the important thing. So that shows that how the cows also have so much love for Krishna. So snutastani, snutastanya iti priti chinna. So Vishwanath Chakravarti also, he doesn't write any more comment on it, only this much, that this milk which is coming out from their udder, it's overflowing. This is the sign of love. So it is not that only human beings have love, even animals have love for Krishna. So Godus Druma. Right? cows, birds, even trees. So even trees will exude honey out of love for Krishna. So much love. Vanoksaha pramudita vanrajirmadhyuchyutah Jaladharagrirnada tasanna dadrisho guha. So there, this is being described here, that this is what Krishna saw. How Krishna saw the forest. So Vanaukasaha pramudita. There were some people living in the forest also, tribal people. So they were very ecstatic. They were very pleased. They were happy. And Vanaraji madhurchyata. And the forest trees, they were dripping honey. And Jaldhara girer nadat. And the streams of water were coming down from the mountain and making sound. So asanna dadrishe guha, and there were guha or caves. So this is what he saw in the rainy season. Tatra cha Krishno vanoksaha pulindi pramuditaha dadarsha. So he saw the Pulindi woman, Kemastriyo vanachari vyabhachara dushta. So these are the vanacharis. So even they were happy to see Krishna. And Vanaraji madhuchyuta, madhunam chuta ksharnam yasu tatha bhuta dadarsha. So he saw the trees from their flowers, the honey was dripping, so that they wanted Krishna to have honey from that. And girehe sakasha jaladhara durvartinirapi adurvartinirapi nadadhetur asana nikatvartini dadarsha. And then the streams of water was flowing from the hills, and although they were nearby, adurvartini api, but maybe it is durvartini, jaladhara. It can be taken both ways, but it is far away, but because of the sound it appeared nearby. Nadadhetor asanna nikatvartani dadarsha. So because they are making sound as if they also want to be close to him, as if the mountains are also calling him. It appeared like that. And guhascha dadarsha, and he also saw the caves. From near. Sakas means from. From mountain the water was falling. Kvachid vanaspatir krode guhayan cha bhivarshati nirvishya bhagavan reme kandamula phalashanaha. So now when the rain came, what did he do? How did he protect himself? So he says, Kvachid vanaspati krode. Sometimes he will enter into the hollow of a tree. So sometimes there are big trees and they are hollow from inside. It's like a small house. So you can go and sit inside that and you are protected from the rain. Or you go inside a cave. So if you are near a mountain, hill, and there is a cave, so even Govardhan has caves. You have seen Raghav Pandit's cave in Puchudi? It's quite big. Although Govardhan is not very high, but it has a cave and it's quite huge inside. So Pandit Baba used to live there. That's where he got attacked. So when the rain came, they will go inside, but if the mountain is not nearby, then what? Then go inside the tree. So trees will make hollow place for them so that they can be protected. And then what would he do there? Inside he will eat some fruits and roots. So kanda moola phala ashana. So there are kandas, various types of roots which grow in the forest. You can dig them and eat them raw. They are tasty. So that is kanda moola. So in this way he relished or he enjoyed. So meghe abhito varshati sati vrikshakroɗe guhayam va nisheshena drutam abhidrutya vishan pravishan. So if there was a heavy rain, then he will run inside the hollow of a tree or in a cave quickly. Abhidrutya means running, he will enter it. And kanda mulyor vartulatvad dirghatvad bheda. So kanda and mula both actually refer to the root, but there is a difference. The kanda is round in shape and mula is long in shape. So the difference is in their shape. So there are some round things. In our childhood we also used to dig. It was called barbatta. It's like a small potato and it grows in this rainy season. So you just dig it and you can eat. You can also eat the leaves. So that is called kanda because it is round, and long ones are also there like radish. So that is called mula. That's why it's called muli in Hindi. The radish, because it's long. So dadhyodhanam samanitam shilayam salilantake sambhojaniyair bhuje gopai shankarshananvitaha. So what else he did? That dadhyodhanam samanitam. So some rice and yogurt was brought for him. The food will come for lunchtime because they will leave in the morning. Sometimes they will bring the food themselves, sometimes it is not ready. So they will say, okay, we'll bring the food for you, it will come later on. So dadhyodhanam samanitam means it was brought. So what did they do? They sit near the water bank and put the food on a stone. Just wash the stone, put it on that and eat. So you don't need plates and plastic and all this. So natural flat stone is there. It's clean. Put it on it, wash, eat. So still that place is there somewhere, Bhojan Thali. Right? Near Barsana? Kammevan. Where is Kammevan? After Nandagam? 8 kilometers. So therefore it is described here in Bhāgavatam. So it's still there that he used to eat. So sambhojaniyair bubujay gopai. So he ate with cowherd boys who were eating with him, sambhojaniyair. Sankarshana Anvita along with his brother Balaram. So they will sit down and all have their picnic, forest party. So food is coming and then they pick some fruits, roots. All these will describe dates, palm fruit, jamun, jambu. Guava has also come in this season. Mangoes. So they used to grow wild in the olden times. So just pick and eat. Sadvalopari samvishya charvato militekshino. Sadvalopari samvishya charvato militekshanan triptan vrishan vatsataran gascha svodho bharashramaha pravrishriyam chatam viksha sarvakala sukhavaham bhagwan pujayan chakre atma shakti vibrinhitam. So now he is describing how the cows also relished. So triptan vrishan vatsataran gascha. So cows, calves, bulls, they were all full because they are grazing and a lot of grass is available. So they are tripta. Tripta means satisfied. So what do? They sit down. So sadvalau pari samvishya charvato militekshanam. They grazed on the grass and then they sit down, and then after sitting down they do cuddling, right? It's called cudding. And they take the food out and again chew it. Cuddling or cudding.
Chewing the cud.
Cudding.
Cud, C-U-D.
Yeah, this is called cudding. Cuddling is different. So that's called cudding. So these cows, buffaloes, camel, all these animals, they have, at least cows have 4 stomachs. So what they do it when they graze, they don't chew it completely. They chew it little bit and then they swallow it. And then later on they sit down and then they bring it out again into their mouth from that particular stomach and chew it, and then it goes into the next one. So this is called cudding. So when they do that, they sit down and their eyes are closed. It's also called ruminating. So these cows, bulls, calves, they were all sitting with closed eyes and ruminating. So ruminating is also used for thinking, but here in their case, thinking means you have done something, you bring out that, you think about it. So this is the actual rumination that they have eaten, they bring it out, their samskaras, and then relish it again. That's what people do. Most of the time, what is mind doing? It's only thinking of the past. Things which you have experienced means you have eaten. Now you bring it back and ruminate.
Regurgitate.
So swadho bharashramaha. So being tired also, because they have big udders walking around, they get tired, so they sit down. So Krishna, he saw this, and pravrit shriyam chatam viksha sarvakala sukhamaham. So Krishna, he saw the rain and also the beauty all around in the forest because of the rain. The rain which gives pleasure to all people, all times. So he honored it. Bhagavan pujayan chakre atma shakti ubranhitam. So this beauty is actually manifestation ultimately of his own power. Atma shakti ubranhitam. So it is his own internal potency, antaranga shakti, which is manifest all this in this beauty. So he saw this and he honored it. So upanitam chhaka iti akhyaya prasiddham. So the lunch was brought for them. So here in this Braj Bhasha, and in the village the people, they go and work in the field. So they go in the morning and then lunch comes there. So that is called chhak. So Vishwanath Chakravarti has written this commentary here in Braj, so he has also learned the Braj words. So he is actually writing it. So now of course people who are not familiar with this, they will think, what is this chak? So chak is which comes at the field, the lunch. That's in the village language, is called chak. So upanitam means chaka iti akhya prasiddham, that which is known as chak. Grihajanai prapitam. It is brought by the ladies or children who are at home, so they bring it. So Shilayam Salilantake iti adyapi kundatate bhojan sthalyo drishyante sarvairapi jane. So he put the food on the stone near the lake, etc. And he says that even now this place is called Bhojan Sthali or Bhojan Thali, and it can still be seen. So this is the description of Krishna Leela in the rainy season. Let's stop here if there is any question.
So this chart is brought from the immediately from the home. Not there is also description of the food what Krishna and other sakhas they bring from their homes.
Sometimes they bring, sometimes if they leave too early, then it's brought by others. Any other question?
Can you explain what makes the mind ruminate instead of fantasize about the future? What makes the mind do the ruminating thing instead of fantasizing about the future?
Well, it does both, depending on if you are having some worries about future, then you will be more thinking about that. If you don't have so much future worries, then your past things come up. It keeps you busy. Whatever the samskaras are strong, then they are the one which float up.
Thank you.
You have seen they have this septic tank. So the big chunks float on top. So this is what is floating.
The stool beach of self-gratification.